What's going on, guys? Keith McMillan here with Off the Mat Podcast. I'm here with my favorite person.
Brian Harris. Am I your favorite? I'm not your favorite person.
Today you are.
Okay. I'll take it.
My kids every day. But
Well,
when I'm
no,
in person,
you just said I am, so
today.
they're not your favorite people today. I'm sorry. Not today.
Well, she threw a bottle in my face, so.
Yeah. I win today, guys. Sorry. Today's my day.
Daddy still loves you.
Oh, man. We have a lot of fights to talk about.
Yeah, man. So the Blue Corner fights were this past weekend.
Yep. Local fights.
You worked the door.
No, I did not.
You didn't work the door. Okay,
Nope.
you were there.
I would never work for Blue Corner.
Okay. You want to say why or?
No, I don't know why everybody assumes like I work every MMA event. I just work for FAC, dude.
I think it's just a local thing that's like, hey, you expect to see a familiar face.
Like even like Shamrock people are like, "Oh, are you working the door?" I'm like, "No." I've never even been to a Shamrock event.
You should just say yes just to get like a pass.
No, I'm not. I'm saying like people are asking me like if I'll be
there.
there.
I thought you like
how you just asked, like how you were just like you work the door, and like you just automatically assumed like.
I thought you like showed up for Shamrock and they were like, "Hey, are you working the door tonight?" I would have been like, "Hell yeah, got a pass and it'd been cool." Just chilled.
No.
Okay,
Negative.
so Brian does not work every local MMA event here in town.
No, FAC and KCFA. That's it. Well, I mean, it was KCFA. Now it's FAC.
That's FSC.
Anyways,
Nice. So so you were at the fight.
strictly spectating.
Please dive in.
So I got there a little bit late. Didn't see Chance's fight, but apparently he got a first round armbar.
Okay.
I don't know any information. I didn't see it. I just heard that he got a first round armbar.
Well, congratulations to Grizz.
Congrats. Missed weight tremendously. Throwing that out there.
Yeah,
Not a good thing to do.
Unfortunately, I don't know what he had personally going on. I don't know his history in fights. I don't think he's missed weight before that I know of. At least the past two fights I've seen of Grizz, he's made weight. So
yeah, there was a lot of weight issues with that entire Blue Corner card. So Mike Murray missed weight as well.
Whoa, what?
Yep, he missed by 3 pounds. Grizz missed by I don't know. I want to say that Mike missed by 3 pounds, like in total. So it was like he was 3 pounds over what the limit would have been, which for an amateur you're allowed to be 2 pounds over. So technically he was 1 pound over from what he would have been allowed to.
Okay.
If that makes sense. So 1 pound over. I've talked to him about it. He just said that he couldn't get it off. He put in a serious effort. I talked to Phil. They said that he put in a serious effort. It sucks. I mean, obviously we did something wrong somewhere along the lines, whether it was diet or whatever, because he's made that weight before. So,
I mean, I don't think that will ever be an issue again for him.
No. I think he's got that perfectly under control. So, yeah. And then
I know Nick's guy missed weight too.
Yeah. So, Mike's opponent missed weight, and then Nick's opponent missed weight by like 6 pounds or something like that. It's like I think it was 6 pounds, at least 5. I know that much. Right. So, yeah, he missed weight too. Nick made weight, like a straight professional,
of course.
So
pro debut.
Yeah. Yep. And then John O'Brien fought as well, which John O'Brien made weight. I don't know if his opponent missed weight or not.
Okay.
I don't know, but I know John made weight. Professional.
Nice. First of all, shout out to all the guys that fought this past weekend. As you dive in, the only fight I did get to catch was Nick. So when you dive into Nick's fight, we break that down. I have something of value to add to that conversation, but start with the Mike Murray fight.
So Mike Murray, he came out and he seemed very promising. So he went for a guillotine pretty much right off top in the first round, right? So which it looked like he had it in pretty decently, but didn't work out. It was bad positioning up against the cage and whatnot. On the ground, went for a guillotine, pulled for it. So once he didn't get it, he was on bottom. So he was just he was on bottom. But I will say this, he was working a lot on bottom. But yeah, just kind of sucks. So same thing for the second round as well. He same situation, pulled for a guillotine and didn't get it, and in terms ended up on bottom because of that. So which most of those rounds were spent with him on bottom. There were some exchanges and whatnot. Third round, he adapted. He changed it up. So he recognized his mistakes in the first and second round. Third round, goes out, throws some strikes, and shoots for a takedown, gets it, stays on top the whole round.
Right.
He's dominant the entire round and just stays on top, lands his shots, and he's looking for the finish, but can't get it. So ultimately loses to a decision, 2-1.
I'd be curious to have a conversation with Murray, because Murray's coming off the last jiu-jitsu tournament, taking first place in no-gi, and I wonder if that has anything to do with his game, in a sense of I just won this no-gi.
Yeah.
He has a solid, slick, beautiful jiu-jitsu. So I wonder if he was if his confidence took over and he's like, I'm just going to finish him,
I'm sure that's a big part of it. I think a lot of fighters have tendencies like that. I think that's one of the biggest things is to although it's good to, whenever you see specialists like that, the Damian Mayas and the guys like that, that are special, or even with striking, even the guy like Francis Ngannou,
right.
what I mean? Something that's like that, that's good and all, but I think that it's better just to be a mixed martial artist, to not.
Right.
I would rather not have any holes in my game than to be, fucking stellar at this one thing and then decent at these other things.
That's just my thought. Yeah. I'm curious if that's why he went, because it sounds like that first round, from what I've heard from other people too, that he, everyone thought it was over.
After the first round?
No, the guillotine. They thought he had that locked in.
Yeah, I thought he did whenever I saw it initially. I was like, oh, because I'm literally my first thought whenever he started pulling it, I was nervous because he was pulling for a guillotine right off top. But then once I saw it, I was like, oh shit, he might actually have it. And then once dude broke out of it, I went back to, oh shit, he pulled for a guillotine again. You know what I mean?
Can you talk about, have you ever pulled for a submission and then didn't get it? What does that do to your mental game inside of a fight?
No.
Okay.
No, I haven't done that in a fight.
Okay.
No. Not to where it put me in a jeopardizing position.
Do you think that had anything affected his confidence at all? Just from the outside looking in.
No.
Okay.
I don't think it did. I think it was in a sense of I think he was aware of that he was in a bad position and everything, but I don't think it here's the thing. Mike Murray, he actually put in effort and he fought while he was on bottom. He didn't accept positioning. So that to me tells me that it wouldn't have taken away confidence.
Right.
But definitely, we know what we need to work on now,
Sure.
Instead of pulling for guillotines, maybe we should work on staying on top, and then I don't know. Instead of trying to force the finish, letting it come to us.
Well, good. Mike Murray definitely, he was in here. I know he was back training.
Oh, he's right
Monday,
back at it. Yeah.
The
guy's a savage.
Yeah, just an amazing individual. So
I think his mindset's in a really good spot with where he's at fighting wise too.
Yeah.
He's just you see it with everybody too. The more and more they fight, the more and more confident and comfortable they get with fighting, and I don't know, the more confident and comfortable I get with him fighting. You know what I mean? Every time, I'm excited to see the next Mike Murray fight.
Of course,
yeah,
and only expect great things from him. Like I said, I'll stick to my words. I think he'll go on, have a couple more fights, and then by the end of the year, let's say beginning of next year, he'll turn pro. In my opinion, he hasn't been stopped. And he's back training, so which means he's healthy enough to continue on. So it's not like he got beat up. So shout out to Mike Murray. Keep doing your thing, brother.
So yeah. And then who do we have after that?
John O'Brien or
yes, Mr. John. Why do I feel like we're missing somebody right now?
Keep going to John. I'll think about it.
Mr. John O'Brien. The guy's a fucking robot, dude. He literally is just I don't know. He's a robot, man. He is, I don't know. He's just so fucking calm, cool, and collective whenever he's fighting. He just ain't, I don't know. So he goes out and and I talked to him about this too, so I've actually got some insight from him on this as well. So he throws a low kick right off top. He recognizes that this guy, like he said, that the guy's eyes got big after he threw the low kick. So throws a low kick again, eyes get big again. So then he sees that the guy's like dropping his hands now at this point, and he's worried about this low kick, and he's worried about taking shots to the body, just the lower half now. So John sees this, goes for a head kick. John slips going for the head kick, slips, and he turns over and he looks up at his opponent, and he sees his opponent like basically panicking. Really is what he does, and he just like kind of panics and like throws himself on him. So they get into like a scrambling situation, and fucking John turns it around, takes this dude's back, and fucking chokes him.
Nice.
And that was the fight. He's a fucking robot, dude. He just like, even like in that moment, like he slipped in a fight throwing a head kick, and like
the other guy panicked.
Yeah. And he just like, he was rolled with it, He was just like, all right, this is the situation we're in, So fucking, that guy's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah. That was his fight. That was it.
Well, there we go.
Yeah, that was the end of his fight.
Congratulations.
He did little blessings to the crowd afterwards.
That's his second professional fight?
Yep, second pro fight.
So 2-0. 2-0. Congratulations.
Yep. We got to get him back on here.
Yeah, soon.
Yeah, well, obviously, he's not fucking... He doesn't need any recovery time.
Right.
So we'll get him back ASAP. Yeah, and then we had Mr. Nick's fight.
Yeah.
So Nick was making his pro debut, and again his opponent missed weight by.
You said 6 pounds?
5 or 6. Nick's right over there. Can we ask him?
I mean, I think he has his headphones. Nick, can you hear me? Yeah, his headphones are on.
All right, he's got his headphones on. So yeah, misses by like 5 or 6 pounds. Man, so they had some good exchanges on the feet, but really Nick was shining a lot whenever he with his ground game. Like Nick's, that was the thing that mainly stood out to me. And whenever I go into this, I disagree with the decision that was made ultimately.
I wholeheartedly disagree. From what I saw, Nick was the initiator. He had octagon control, if you want to say that. I don't know if the rules apply in what was the pro fight, but Nick took him down. He did get reversed a couple times, but nothing significant to where, he like stole a round. I think at the end of the first round, he might have ended up on top, but that wasn't enough to give the round away. I mean, if someone's working on you for 2 or 3 minutes, and then the last 30 seconds, they turn it around, I don't think that warrants to give the other opponent, the other fighter the round, because I think Nick dominated each round with the takedowns. Even when he got swept, they scrambled, got back up. And if you go for damage, I know that knee, which was an illegal knee, cut Nick over the eye.
That's not what cut him. Elbow cut him.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Elbow cut him. So an elbow cut Nick, and it was a fat cut. That happened before the knee.
Okay.
So there was a big cut on his eyebrows that he ended up needing to get stitches from. But yeah, from an elbow. But ultimately, yeah, I mean, KJ, his opponent, threw an illegal knee.
You got a point taken away, which blows my mind because, and I said it to Nick too, that means no matter what, Nick was going to get fucked anyway. Because if they didn't take that point away, he would have lost the fight.
Yeah.
So whatever the judges were watching, it wasn't Nick's fight, in my opinion.
Yeah.
There's no way it should have been a draw.
Yeah. The second and third round, in my opinion, were all Nick as well. Same thing that you were just saying. Like, couple exchanges on the feet, nothing significant, I would say, either way. And then Nick takes him down at will. Here's the thing: every time Nick went for a takedown, Nick got it.
Right.
There was never a time that a takedown was tough. So Nick would always get his takedown. And then any time that he was reversed, there was, and again, from my perspective, I need to watch the fight again too, just to verify all of these things. I'm a firm believer that you need to watch fights more than once, at least like close decisions, to like make a firm call. And then so anytime that he got swept, like it was it was weird whenever he got swept too. Like there were sweeps that I don't know, they were sloppy. But he didn't do anything either, in my opinion. Didn't. Like he landed a couple shots, but he didn't know what he was doing as far as control or anything like that. Nick either would get back to his feet or reverse it. It every single time. So
yeah, it would just be. Overall, I think Nick won the fight. And that's not just me being biased. Just from an outside perspective, I think Nick won the fight.
I am biased, and that's why I need to watch it again.
Super proud of
to verify
of Nick and all the fighters. I think it's incredible them going out there and for the most part, I've seen these. I have the pleasure of being around these individuals, working out and seeing all the work they put in. So congratulations to all of them. It's funny. I first of all, I shouldn't be watching the fights at work, but I'm at work when I got to see Nick's fight. And because I get too animated.
Okay.
I can't watch any of my teammates.
You're like shadow boxing in the corner.
Yeah, I'm like I'm screaming. Nick gets a takedown. I feel like I got the takedown.
Yeah.
And I get really hyped up. And we were closing when Nick's fight came on. Or some of the servers wanted to get out of there and all that stuff. And I'm slamming the, hitting the table with my fist and everything. Not like punching it, but I was like, let's go, Nick, let's fucking go. I'm like screaming. And it's funny because people are like, Keith, calm down.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, get the fuck out of here. Like I would have told my boss to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
If he told me to calm down. So I got to be cautious where I watch these damn fights. But man, I'm so animated and so excited. It's weird, like how people try to be PC about this. So I'm watching Nick fight, and two people came over and were like, "Oh my god, is that your friend fighting?" They automatically assumed the black guy was my friend. Yeah. First of all, they were like, "Oh," and they were like, "Is that him in those shorts and the whatever he was wearing?" I was like, "No, it's the fucking white guy. Like, just say it."
Yeah.
Why you guys being so? It's always funny
to me. Around it, I just say it.
Yeah.
Like, is this black dude or white dude?
Yeah, exactly. But it was easier to say that than them be like, is it the guy in the
that's annoying.
Oh,
okay. Yeah. But yeah, that was pretty much it. Nick won that fight, in my opinion. But that's judging. Speaking of judging, fucking UFC. Was it 247? Fucking wild, dude. Terrible judging.
It's
terrible judging.
The judging's so bad. Not saying I would. No, I would be better. It makes me want to look into how to become a judge.
Matt dropped his keys. Dumbass.
The door's open too. He doesn't know that.
What an idiot! God.
So it would make me. I wish I can what's it take to become a judge?
Apparently not fucking much.
Yeah.
Apparently not much. But I don't know. So there were those 3 fights on the UFC card, which I'm sure everybody's well aware of. That everybody's up in arms about as far as the judging goes, and that would be the Martinez fight, the Krause fight, and the Jones fight. Which of course the Krause fight, that's a whole nother story in itself, which we'll talk about.
Right.
But the Martinez fight, I know you didn't see it, but that was in my eyes completely one-sided. Martinez dominated that fight. That was the biggest one to me. That was the one that stood out the most, and it was once that happened, I was like, what the fuck is happening right now?
Right.
I was like, are you kidding me right now? That really just happened? That was one of those decisions. It was bad. Then while KGB's fighting, the girls' fight's going on, one of the judges is fucking on his phone, and Joe Rogan's just calling it out the whole time. It was 30 to 45 seconds where the dude was on his phone. Ridiculous.
Right.
Absolutely ridiculous. You're at your job, bro. You're fucking on the job right now.
Right.
And you're on your fucking phone. Ridiculous. And then I'm rambling right now.
Keep going.
I'm going on a fucking rant.
Keep going.
So James's fight was a little more understandable because that was a close fight, but still, in my opinion, I had James winning. So Zach and I kind of got into a little debate about this at one point this week too, because the judging. So we were saying that the James fight. So for round 1, James got Giles's back. So whenever they were striking, I want to say Giles was really fast, and any time that he hit James, it was very much Dustin Poirier versus Max Holloway. Like you could tell, like it affected him, you know.
Yeah.
And which James was still like getting off on his striking, you know, but it wasn't. There was a difference, and you could see it. You know, it was very apparent. But James got his back in the first round. They ended up going underground. He gets his back. They're kind of like up against the cage in the corner, and James is like working for a choke, and this is going on for majority of the round, really, where James has his back and is fucking working to finish him. And I wholeheartedly believe if James had a full fight camp, he would have finished him. James took the fight on 24 hours notice. Fucking gangster. Yeah, he would have finished him if he had a full camp, for sure, in my mind. Round 2 wasn't so hot for James. Round 2 he got lit up. Giles put it on him, was fucking hurting him. Again, just like I said, like Dustin Poirier, Max Holloway, like when he landed. Yeah. It hurt. Round 3, Giles seemed to be kind of tired, and fucking James put it back on him. Like picked up the pace, fucking got a second win, and started coming back. I mean, it was still the same in the sense of like when Giles landed, like he landed, but it wasn't, the volume wasn't there, you know? It was like one shot to James's like fucking combinations, you know? And in my mind, James won the round. So one of the debates like that Zach and I were kind of getting at was like damage done being a thing that the judges score on. And it's not something that's listed. They say significant strikes, but damage done isn't like a thing. And to me, like, I don't know. Like, to me, James could land a significant strike, and it's not the equivalent to Giles's significant strike. But based off the way that the scoring is listed, they should be equal.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
At least in my mind. That's if it said damage done, then Giles's strikes would be worth more than James's strikes.
Okay.
Because they had more of an effect on James.
No, it makes sense.
At least that's how I see it.
Yeah.
And one of the examples I brought up was GSP Johnny Hendricks.
Yeah.
Like, look at their faces. Which then Zach replied, I think Johnny Hendricks won that fight. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay, well, let's just
Johnny
throw that out
Hendricks
the
didn't
window.
win.
Let's throw that the fuck out the window. But anyways, so
you know I don't know whether, I mean, James is an intelligent individual, so probably the best career move you could have made, taking a fight on 24-hour notice, puts on a fantastic fight. People feel he got robbed. You know, his stock soars. He's done everything right for himself. If he wants to, I mean, people are going to be excited for the next time James fights. I know when I go to work and everything, people are bothering me if I know James, which I barely know James. You know, I train out in the Northland, but he's done everything right. And I think it's time that, I think in a way, Chael Sonnen kind of like passed the torch as, I think James Krause should be the new American gangster. I mean, I know he's the James Krause, but I think it's time for him to I think that torch should be passed and he's the new American gangster.
as far as like what?
Just
like,
his
you
name.
think you should start talking shit?
No. I'm saying, like, you know, Chael Sonnen was the American gangster.
Yeah.
I think that's James now.
That's like a self-proclaimed title, though.
I think that's James.
So James just needs to start. I mean,
Isn't that what he kind of posted? He's like, gee,
yeah,
24-hour notice. You know, I'm doing gangster shit. Like,
yeah,
why not? It fits him.
Yeah.
You know, he went up weight class too.
Yep, 185.
I mean, everything probably, if you say out loud, you'd be like, yeah, he's going up a weight class. It's 24-hour notice. No real camp, blah, blah, blah. You'd be like, fuck no.
Yeah.
But for him, that's probably the best thing he could have done.
I'm not even going to lie, though. Whenever he did it, I wasn't surprised.
No, not at all.
Like, I wasn't even remotely surprised. I was like, oh, shit, dope.
Yeah.
I was like, cool. Now I have more of a reason to watch the card. But, like, whenever I found out that he took the fight on 24 hours notice, I was... And I don't know James that well either. Like, I know him a little bit, but, like, whenever I heard he took it on 24 hours notice, I was like, sounds about right.
Right.
I don't know why. It just seemed, I don't know. It seemed to fit him from what I do know of him,
It's amazing, man. And if he would have got that finish, woo.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this excitement's still there for him, and the next time he fights,
for sure, dude.
You know,
this is the thing. You still have to respect it, regardless. Like, I mean, that's your
definitely.
fucking job to fight. You know, that's basically what he was saying too. Like he said, I don't know if you've heard like some of the interviews and everything that he's been doing, where he was just like, that's what a lot of these young guys need to get from this. Like, that's your fucking job, bro.
Yeah,
you should be ready. So, but anyways, and then the other fight. Really, I want to talk to. Well, one, Valentina, she's fucking a robot. She just
you can move past that for me.
Yeah, she's the Terminator. I don't know how to describe that.
Unless she's fighting Nunez next, I really don't care.
She's so elite, it's unreal.
I don't care who she fights.
Yeah, I agree. I'm right there with you.
Unless it's Nunez, there's no point in her going up against anyone else.
Yeah, she's unreal. On to John Jones and Dominic Reyes.
I did get to see that fight too.
Your thoughts, go.
I know you set me up.
I'm not doing anything.
No, you set me up.
Go ahead.
You want me to say
no.
What everyone else says. You want me to say some dumb shit. John Jones did not win that fight. But I'm in this. But, you know, I could see why they didn't give it to... I thought it would have been a draw.
Why?
Well, it depends on how you score it. Because if you give the last 2 rounds to John... How well did he do? How dominant was he in the sense of, like, you could argue those could be 10-8 rounds.
Can you, though?
5th round, definitely. The 5th round, you can definitely say it's a 10-8 round. He was surviving.
And more maybe I need to rewatch it. I think
that 5th round is clearly a 10-8 round.
I didn't see any rounds that were 10-8 rounds.
I think the 5th round was just the way John... he didn't keep him down, but he took him down. The way John was the aggressor, the pace, and you could tell, like, Reyes was taking some deep breaths.
Yeah, I saw the 5th round as John Jones thinking, I'm about to lose my title and I need to finish.
Yeah,
but I don't think that it was a 10-8 round at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It would all depend on the scores. I mean, the judges were all off anyway. So if I'm John Jones, I'd be like, I got this anyway. Yeah.
But even if they're 10-8 rounds, the scoring wouldn't match up, right? What?
If you give the 4th and the 5th round,
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It should have been a draw.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my opinion. That's
Yeah. Well, we differ because of that. Because I don't agree with those being 10-8 rounds. Like I've seen 10-8 rounds, and then those weren't 10-8 rounds. 10-8 rounds, 10-8 rounds, you're like watching it and you're like, oh my God. And the entire time you're thinking like the ref, you could potentially make an argument for the ref to stop it.
Okay.
And at no point during those rounds did I think the ref should ever have stepped in.
So do you think clearly the 3rd round was Reyes too?
That's the only round that I think that I feel like you could make an argument for that round. Okay. That's the one that I feel like is closest to where you can make an argument. That's the thing. I feel like Reyes won, but I still agree that you can make an argument that John Jones won. I'm not saying that's completely out of the question. I wouldn't say that that's crazy to say, but in my opinion, yeah, I think Reyes did more. I think he won round 1 through 3. I think in round 3 he did a little bit more. And was still in it.
Right.
And I think John Jones thought that too. I think John Jones thought that he was about to lose his title.
Definitely. I mean, I think that's why he's, you don't see John Jones shoot for takedowns. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no kidding.
Not that often.
Not like that. Not like he's on a wrestling mat. He shot for it like he was in a wrestling room.
Yeah.
He shot for a straight double leg like he was back in college.
Yeah. But I mean, you never know what the judges are looking at clearly that night, and it's like, do you give them?
Yeah, they're fucking phones.
Are you awarding them for just getting the takedown or controlling the takedown? And controlling the guy on the ground.
True.
Because Reyes just got right back up. So if you're looking at it from that point of view,
true,
Reyes won. But if you're just like, oh, we got a takedown, cool.
Not only that, like getting up too. I mean, in some situations, that's just as significant as getting taken down.
Right.
As someone taking you down, their takedown is worth just as much as your escape if you escape, immediately.
Right. Nah, it's fascinating. Someone should interview that judge and see what the fuck he was thinking. Bro,
he's a black belt
in jiu-jitsu. That's right. I remember you talking about that.
Yeah, it makes me fucking sick. because he gave Giles the first round and James's fight, and James had his back for like 3 minutes.
Maybe James choked him out in the past. We just don't know,
bro. I'm like, how are you a fucking who are you a black belt under? What are you talking about? That's crazy.
Maybe James caught him in the past, and he's like, finally my payback.
I don't know. Maybe they saw something I didn't. But that was like the biggest thing to me. Like, you can make, again, like when I was saying, like, Zach and I were talking about it, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if they are judging it that way. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if they see, like, those significant strikes and, like, they give that more credit than James controlling the back. You know what I mean? I don't know. But that Zach and I were both in agreement that it was atrocious that judge thought that James didn't get the first round.
No, I agree.
But anyways, back to the John Jones fight. I'm sorry. I got sidetracked. One thing I want to say about the John Jones fight is, and this happens with almost every John Jones fight and a lot of championship fights in general, and it irks me to my fucking core, is when people say, like, yeah, I mean, he might have won, it was close, but he didn't beat the champ. You know, it was too close to say he beat the champ.
I mean, that's that old school boxing mentality, though, you know, where there's like, it all depends. It all depends. I mean, for you, you know, I'm surprised that you really, I guess you're being fair about it, because before this, you didn't want to see this fight. You know what I mean? Like, you were past but now you're in, so.
Shout out to Race. I wouldn't want to see them running back.
Okay, so I
think they run it back, John Jones murders him.
But see, with the media and everything now, so it's like, because I would like to see John Jones go up, but I don't want to hear all these reports that he's running away from Reyes. And you know exactly what's going to come out.
That's what Reyes is going to say, but I don't think anybody's going to care.
The media's going to put that out there too.
Yeah. And the real ones will know. The real ones. Yeah. I'm telling you right now, they fight again. It's going to be like Jones versus Gustafsson too.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we're going to see.
He's never lost a rematch.
Yeah, John Jones, he wins better.
Yeah.
He does better the second time, significantly. And I think that's what we would see with Reyes.
Man, it's interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
He fights Stipe next, or what if he beats up Corey Anderson?
I don't know. I don't care about Corey Anderson.
Okay.
I don't care about that fight.
Okay.
Yeah. I say go up and fight Stipe. Stipe will murder him, though.
I mean, Corey has a tough fight ahead of him, you know, with his next fight coming up against Blakovic.
I have no idea.
A 205er, big 205er that he's going against. So it'd be fascinating to see what happens there.
I'm like sleeping on the 205 division right now, with the exception of like Anthony Smith. I'm not very intrigued with a lot of people. Dominic Reyes is on the map for me now, though. He did impress me. That was an impressive performance, but I would never want to see him fight John Jones again.
Okay, well, there we go.
Yeah, but yeah, if you're one of those people, I don't think that applies for MMA. Like, you didn't do enough to beat the champ. If you won rounds 1 through 3, or if you won 3 out of 5 rounds, you won. You won.
Yeah, you're
the champion. Winning's winning.
Yeah, like I said, very fascinating coming from you, because before this, you were like, I don't care about this fight. And now you're like, Reyes won. Because, I mean, if Reyes would have won, that would have kept John Jones in the 205 division for longer.
Yeah. Yeah. And 205 would be way more interesting.
Okay.
Just because, like, John Jones lost, you know? Like,
right. No,
come on. I get it. You know what I mean? That was the thing. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's not like when GSP was getting to that point in his career. You know what I mean? Where like everybody felt like, all right, what's next for GSP? Because that division was like getting renewed whenever he was like at that point. You know, you started having like Johnny Hendricks coming up, Robbie Lawler started coming up, like Rory McDonald started doing well. Which again, they were teammates, but you know, I know Tyron Woodley started like all these people started coming up out of nowhere. You know, and it was like it started getting competitive and. John Jones doesn't have that problem in his division right now. And the people he does have that problem with, he's already beat.
I hear you, man. Well, I'm excited. I hope he fights Stipe next. And then I hope he finishes out the year and fights DC.
I don't want to see him fight DC again.
And heavyweight, yes, I do.
You think you do?
I'm not saying Stipe is an easy matchup for John Jones. I know a lot of people are saying that he'll probably get knocked out. I think he beats Stipe, and then DC John Jones by the end of the year. Big super mega card.
Honestly, I'm good with DC never fighting again.
Me too.
I'm good with that.
Oh, if DC never fights again, he's an amazing commentator.
I think I would rather that than him fight John Jones or Stipe. I don't want him to fight John Jones or Stipe.
I think he could beat Stipe.
I don't know.
What don't you know?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
DC can beat Stipe.
I think he can. I don't think he will.
Oh, okay.
Why do you say that?
No, you're right. I mean, I'm not gonna say like Stipe. I'm not counting Stipe out.
Yeah. I think we should. Those are fights I want to rewatch too.
Yeah.
Because I think there was a huge difference in those fights. Huge difference.
But DC was winning that fight before he got knocked out.
Until Stipe started getting off.
Yeah.
That's all it took was for Stipe to start getting off.
Yeah, but DC knocked him out the first time they fought.
Oh, Stipe knocked him out the second.
Yeah, but Stipe went to sleep. DC just, got TKO'd. Okay.
I don't know, man.
Right.
I don't know. I think Stipe's got the tools. I don't know. DC's getting old, bro. For MMA, come on. He's what, 42?
He's a heavyweight, though.
Bro.
He's a heavyweight, though. He's not cutting weight or anything.
Yeah, still.
He could. I mean, this should definitely be his last year. I agree with you. DC doesn't come back, I'm okay with that. That's, he's still one of the best MMA fighters ever in history.
You stick around too long, then you run the risk of becoming Fedor and getting knocked out by a middleweight.
There are some people
Which happened.
There are some people out there that still say Fedor is the greatest fighter ever.
Yeah, I know. Those are those people. They also ate lead paint growing up.
Real quick, I had a buddy that when I first started getting into MMA and everything, just watching, just being a fan, I was my first fighter I was a big fan of was Rich Franklin. And my buddy messaged me and was like,
have you seen this video of him fighting Anderson Silva?
No, this is right before he this when
died.
He was yeah, but he's still one of my favorite fighters.
Oh yeah, yeah. Anyway,
so I like getting into MMA and I start talking about it more, whether on Facebook or whatever. And my buddy texted me, and I love him to death, but he's like, "Oh, why do you watch UFC? You need to watch one of the greatest fighters ever." Pride. And I was just like, "What?" He's like, "You got to watch the greatest fighter ever. They won't even let him in the UFC because they don't know what happened to their division." I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
They wouldn't let him in the UFC.
Fedor, dude. Fucking Fedor. Why do you? He doesn't watch MMA. He just went best MMA fighter ever. And the results at the time popped up Fedor. He was like, he would destroy everyone. And I was like, oh no, he's not in the UFC. There's a reason why he's not in the UFC. Because I'm a big believer of the product of the UFC, that they have the best fighters at that time. Back then when they had Chuck Liddell, Rashad Evans, Rampage, Verdum. They had, all.
So a lot of those guys you just named, they got from Pride.
Yeah, but this is when they were in the UFC, though.
Yeah. And
Fedor didn't come over. But yeah, I always thought they had the best product. Plus, I didn't know anyone,
Yeah.
I didn't really. I was more in the UFC before I say MMA. I was more in the UFC.
Fedor wasn't in the UFC because a lot like why it took Ben Askren so long to get in the UFC. Yeah. It was just they couldn't agree. That's all it was, from my understanding. But yeah,
this might be disgusting for me to say. I still would have liked to see Fedor fight Brock.
Why, dude?
Just because Brock was Brock is one of the greatest things that ever happened to the UFC.
Yeah, he's a freak show.
Yeah, I know.
He's a freak show. That's like throwing in a knife while two guys are fighting and just being like, all right.
Especially before you
first one to get it is Brock Lesnar.
I'll tell you, they need to have the best of pre-USADA. That should be the next UFC that came out.
That's actually kind of genius.
And it's just fucking Vitor and Johnny Hendricks and just all these John Fitch, just all these fighters.
We're gonna make an Instagram page called Steroid Sports. Have Barry Bonds as the profile picture.
I'm telling you. Just pre
First video is Mark McGuire just like fucking hitting a baseball into the stratosphere.
Just like you just leave the video off with Eric Silva. Just pre-USADA.
You see Brock Lesnar on the wrestling mat.
Oh my god, I'd pay for that.
Testosterone's coming out of their fucking eyeballs.
Instead of the greatest hits and all that, like they just came out with the greatest like slams victories.
Yeah. Biggest cheaters.
Yeah, not big. No, you just say pre-USADA.
Yeah, it was still cheating. It was still cheating.
You can just go out there.
It wasn't as easy to get caught, or it was easier to not get caught.
I'm dressing it up nicely. Pre-USADA, greatest hits. And it's just all these, just Brock Lesnar and Alistair Overeem.
Collection of cheaters.
Ubereem,
yeah, bro. You can tell when he's not on the shit.
Oh yeah.
Versus when he's on the shit, dude.
265.
Yo. Crazy. Like when you put them next to each other, you're like, that's not even the same guy.
Sniper.
Yo, it's the same like Vitor though.
Yeah.
Like you put those pictures next to each other, you're like, that's not the same person.
Spinning head kicks.
But it is. It is.
God. One of these days we should talk about like fighters that like their career like suffered because of TRT. Like Luke Rockhold never been knocked out until then. Like it'd be interesting to see fighters that like really lost big. Michael Bisping.
Was he on TRT?
No. Like lost because of fighting people. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah.
Like he fought like 3 fighters.
You're saying when they fought Vitor and Vitor was on TRT?
Yeah, I'm talking about like fighters careers that suffered.
Yeah.
Because of TRT.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. For sure.
Well, yeah.
All right, let's wrap up. I gotta work.
So. Yeah. Congratulations to all the guys. Way to go out there and represent the gym. Can't wait to continue watching you guys' journey. We got news that today, Off the Mat Podcast alumni Matt Waters will be hosting the second FAC event to Anthony Smith. That's twice now. Matt has got to co-host and commentate with fantastic individuals like Keith McMillan and now Anthony Smith. So shout out to Matt Waters. And nothing.
No.
Okay. Trying to give you gold at the end. All right, never mind.
I'm just watching Matt's reaction.
But yeah.
All right, guys.
Congratulations to Matt Waters and Amber. Their baby will be due next couple of weeks. That's exciting for them. Welcome to Hell, Matt. And yeah, we have the fights coming up. FAC.
February 22nd.
Yeah, Chance, David Onama, Jason Witt's on that card. Jason High is headlining.
Is Jason Witt on that card? Jason Witt's fighting?
He's not co-main event?
Is Jason Witt fighting?
Or do I have another card?
Nobody knows.
Okay, and then a bunch of other fighters. Mikey England's making, coming out there, going to be a beast. So yeah, okay, I'm done talking.
Love, peace, chicken grease, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Jesus Christ, you just fucking got diarrhea of the mouth right there. Like, we're wrapping up? All right. One time when I was 6, I went to the school and found a rock on the way. Let me get some love. Shout out to Matt Waters. He tied his shoelaces today.